The Baltimore City Council is set to debate a bill next month that would boost oversight of the Baltimore Children and Youth Fund. BCYF has received tens of millions of city taxpayer dollars in recent years that it's guaranteed annually. However, the fund operates as a nonprofit. Patrick Huff from our Spotlight on Maryland team has two exclusive interviews with city council members previewing the debate over BCYF.
A Baltimore City Council bill set for its first committee hearing on December 18th would establish new regulations for BCYF, including a required performance audit conducted by the Baltimore City Comptroller every 3 years, starting next year, a ban on BCYF sending money to organizations tied to its board, staff, or their family members. However, the bill is far from finalized.
And I suspect that we're going to have some amendments to the bill. I fully do.
That's Councilman Zach Blanchard, one of 6 co-sponsors of the bill. He said that he and his colleagues are working with a variety of experts on potential amendments.
The original language is complex, so this legislation to adjust it also has to be complex. And so there's going to be all sorts of unintended consequences. And that's why we're trying to do our best to think through them by getting input from nonprofits, from the administration, from everybody.
The bill has the support of 7 council members and is opposed by Mayor Brandon Scott and BCYF. The remaining city council members did not respond to our question asking about whether they plan to support the bill. Spotlight on Maryland first reported this year about how the Baltimore City budget sent more than $16 million to BCYF, $7 million of which is then sent to the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. Meanwhile, BCYF's budget for grant-making to local organizations was cut by about $6 million. Mayor Scott previously said he opposes the bill because it would prevent his office from utilizing BCYF funds like it did this year.
The bill right now has some problematic things for me.
However, Blanchard said that's not true.
It's not banning the city from getting the funding. It would just make the city apply.
A point seconded by another co-sponsor of the bill, Baltimore City Councilman Mark Conway.
They would actually have to go through a full application process and be vetted against the other programs that they'd be competing against.
Conway voted against the Baltimore City budget earlier this year, citing concerns about how the mayor's office would receive BCYF money. The councilman said he hopes to work with BCYF on the bill.
I had a meeting scheduled with BCYF a few weeks ago and they canceled.
We previously sorted through thousands of documents obtained in public information requests that detailed how BCYF spent roughly $300,000 taxpayer dollars in total on trips for its adult staff and grantees to Austin, New Orleans, St. Louis, and Alabama. Conway expressed concern about the trips, which he said he hopes to see the BCYF bill address.
I think even from just like a narrative perspective, one of the most egregious things that I saw. Now, I don't know how often that happened, and I think it's also part of the problem. We don't have those reports, and it's hard to tell how this money is being spent. We certainly would never want to justify, expensive dinners and, expensive travel if it's not benefiting our young people. That's not the intention here.
Baltimore City Inspector General Isabel Cumming released a report last week that found the Baltimore City Department of Audits has no record of receiving a financial audit from BCYF from fiscal years 2022, 2023, and 2024. The Baltimore City Department of Finance and BCYF have no record of a signed copy of their agreed rules and regulations from 2020, and that only 3 of BCYF's 10 submitted invoices from January 2023 to September 2025 included a list of its taxpayer-funded grantees. Conway and Blanchard said the report may lead to additional amendments to their bill.
I'm still working on what that might look like.
The Inspector General has good feedback, would have good feedback that we need to be aware of as we're adjusting this stuff too.
We'll keep you updated about if the BCYF bill changes and whether it's passed into law, and we'll continue to monitor how nonprofits spend your taxpayer dollars. For Spotlight on Maryland, I'm Patrick Huff.
Hi, I'm Vincent Hill. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Follow Fox Baltimore on social media for more videos just like this.